So, welcome everyone yet again to one of our video casts. As always, they are controversial, and today we're gonna get rid of many taboos about ayahuasca. Yes, ayahuasca or yahe. And of course, as always, we have a very special guest with us this time, a person that has been studying these ceremonies and this plant for many years. Welcome, Jose. How are you, man?
Thank you. Thank you very much for the invite, dear Gabo. I'm very pleased to be with you guys and sharing a little bit about my experience of plant medicines. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. It's awesome to have you here, man. Thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing, which is the goal of this video cast, to share environmental awareness, and this is what we're here for. We're gonna break many taboos. We have questions for Jose, and yeah. So before we get to it, we are here because of our sponsors, which is Shiripuna Lodge, which is this remote lodge in the middle of the Amazon. This is one of the last places that you can actually have this real connection with nature in the Amazon. Also, our own restoration project, which is to restore cloud forest here in Ecuador. You can check out our link here, Sumaco Nyawi, to give us some funds and to help us with this. And finally, we also have Cerveza Itinerante. If you happen to be in Ecuador, you can also uh, ask for it for delivery service. Also, all of this. So yes, going to it, we have here Jose to answer some questions for us. Like the first questions that I have here is like the first doubt that I comes to my mind is why should we drink ayahuasca? What would be the reasons to drink this ayahuasca, Jose?
Okay. The right reasons to drink ayahuasca to me would be to seek well being for your life, seek more clarity for your. Yeah, for your path. I've seen the benefits that this sort of plant can have is to unblock, to unveil what we cannot see. So if you have a deep desire of getting to know yourself better, of getting to understand how everything is connected from a very different point of view without the veil of your mind, that would be a good way to go and look for these plant medicines like ayahuasca, which to me is one of the most powerful ones. Okay.
What would be wrong reasons? What would be a wrong reason to go and try this yahe or ayahuasca?
I think a wrong reason will be kind of like a shallow intention of having fun or tripping. You know, I
Right.
think there's a lot of misconceptions about the real use of these plant medicines, and now it's a trend in the world because there's this like new psychedelic renaissance where people are looking back to psychedelics as a way of escaping reality. Okay, so instead of escaping reality, I would say that you have to be convinced that you want to get to know the reality from a very different point of view. So I wouldn't do it for an entertainment thing, like a recreational thing. Ayahuasca is a very serious matter. I will do it always with a clear intention of bettering your life.
Right. Yes. Like you just said, I've seen a lot of things in the internet, especially videos and a lot to read about. There's supposed to be dehydrated ayahuasca in Amsterdam, for example, or there I saw videos of these eco villages in the U.S. or in Canada where you can go there and people go there just freely, and the leader welcomes you and says, "Yeah, okay, you have there's no violence permitted in this eco village, no drugs." But what about I saw that guy just smoking marijuana and he had some peyote. Oh, but those are not drugs, those are medicine. And yes, marijuana and peyote and ayahuasca, these are not drugs. These are medicine. So it seems to me that these people are taking this very maybe too lightly, and it seems like a leader or in a way is like, can you take ayahuasca just like that? Can you? Is that okay? It didn't seem to me to take ayahuasca like that, just like that. Okay, it didn't seem to me because it's not. They seem like they're forgetting the origin of this plant. It seems to me that they're forgetting this. So yeah, what is your point of view? Is it okay? Is it okay if a leader, like just any leader of these, even if he has good intentions, do you think it's okay that he gives you ayahuasca?
I would know. I wouldn't know exactly the background of this person. If it's somebody that I know that has had the training and spent time in the jungle with the elders, and that has a career, and more important to me to identify is how humble this man is, how he this involves in his normal life, because it's very easy to put on a crown, play the drum, play an instrument, and say that you're a shaman, and then be a complete asshole to your family. You know. So I will look very, very. I will observe um, very in detail, like how this person is in life in general. The fact that they are calling them medicines, I think it's right. I don't think they are drugs at all. But I also think that it depends how you use it in a personal level. As much as I think that marijuana can be a very strong, powerful medicine, I also know that it could be an addiction, a psychological addiction that can make you lazy and unmotivated, and you're abusing the plant. So I think all these plants, they have a polarity, and depending on what's your intention and how you approach them. So it's really about how you approach the medicine. And my best
Ayahuasca.
advice would be to always do it in the place of origin. You know, ayahuasca comes from the Amazon jungle. Find a community, a shaman, or a place over there that has this lineage, that has this connection, that has this tradition, and go there. Of course, not everybody can afford this, or anybody can have accessibility to this, but I think it's worth to do the trip, to get a little bit of your comfort zone, to reach to these places where the medicine comes from.
All right. Yeah. So you gotta, even though it's maybe a little bit more pricey to get to these, to get access to these places, it'll be the right way anyhow. One quick question: is ayahuasca addictive?
It's not addictive. I don't see anybody doing ayahuasca day after day, because usually the experiences are so deep and so profound that it takes several weeks, months to integrate the teachings of ayahuasca when you do it in a serious way. Okay, I don't think it's something that you're gonna get hooked on, or I think it's something that is gonna open up your own ability to heal. So I don't think it's an addictive drug, or that has any negative side effects if it's done in the right way, of
Right.
course.
Right. So it's definitely a plant not to be taken lightly because it's so powerful. Like you're saying, it's super powerful, and you gotta see the origins of this plant, where it comes from, and who the people that know this better, the people that discover the plant and the mix. Um, can it go wrong when you don't follow these recommendations, when you don't do it the right way? Can it go easily wrong? For example, I had a friend a while ago that texted me and said, "Hey, I have a friend that the ceremony went something went wrong in the ceremony, and then the spirit came to inside to her." and she's like gone. She's not like herself anymore. And I don't know exactly the details and what happened next because she never replied again, and I don't talk to her that often anymore. But do ceremonies can go wrong, and how can that happen? How can they go wrong, Jose?
I think it could be many things. Sometimes it's rookie mistakes of people that are beginning to train with ayahuasca, people that haven't had enough training that decide to take on this responsibility, and they just don't know better, you know. Um, it could be a rookie mistake. It could also be poor preparation, of your own body, that she was not ready to do it. She didn't do the diet, she didn't do the fastings that are required for a better experience. Usually, I think those are the main things. Sometimes improvising it in the city, now they're running ceremonies in the cities, and some people do it with a lot of ethical, with a lot of purpose, but there's also people that are just doing it for the money. So always be very, very aware where you're going to go and take and share your energy with. So yeah, I think that's some of the reasons why things can go wrong on one of these ceremonies. It's possible. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Yes, so you gotta be careful choosing who do you do these ceremonies with. How can we, for the people that maybe that are interested on doing ayahuasca, how can we select the people that are right for us? How can we select the people? For example, I think we're getting there with the origin. You were mentioning the origin. You got to remember where the origin of this plant comes from, which is it's just on the name, which is ayahuasca. Is from the I believe that's even Amazonian Quichua, which is in Ecuador. I don't think it's Quechua from the Andes. No, it doesn't sound like that. It's Amazonian. I'm sure there's other tribes in South America and the Amazon that they do it, but it seems like it became famous through this language, ayahuasca, because it can be called in different languages like yahe. And yeah, so maybe going through the origin, if you follow the origin, maybe you can select the right persons. And if if it's not like a business, if you want to monetize, if you see like it's like a business, it seems like it's wrong, right, Jose?
Yeah, I mean, as I say before, it depends a lot on the connection with the origin of the medicine. So I know there's very good retreat centers that may be doing things in an ethical way, paying the people what they're supposed to pay. It's a fair trade for the amount of benefit that they're going to receive from a culture that has been dealing with this plant and learning and doing the trainings for hundreds, maybe thousands of years. There's a good retreat centers that have good connections, good relations with them, but there's also many that don't. And I think it's now is the majority that have skipped this step of doing the actual training for their facilitators, for their shamans. Now there's very young uh, indigenous shamans, or aspirants to shamans that because of the high demand, because there's now this boom that so many people want to come and try it and tick it off their list, that they don't have enough people to serve it, so they improvise, and then that's when things can go wrong. So it's very important to be well informed, to track down the origin, where they get the medicine, where they're getting their the the brews from, and yeah, just ask around if there's reviews on internet. If the internet is your only resource for finding out these things, try to go to people that have had a longer experience with it and that have gone through deep healing processes, and ask for their testimonials, you know?
Right. So if you, yes, because if you take it lightly, it can be dangerous. It can go wrong. You can't. So to all of our listeners or viewers, we recommend not to take it lightly. To go people that you know, like Jose just said, go to reviews, see reviews, really inform yourselves about this plant and how to take it, because it's not to be taken lightly. And there's a lot of people, like Jose just said, also that can get advantage of the situation in an economical way, right? And that can be dangerous for you when you go with this person and try ayahuasca just lightly. Like you were saying in previous conversations that we had, Jose, that there's like selling food in Iquitos. There's like places where they sell food, and the next place is also selling you ayahuasca ceremony. That's not right. You gotta do it the right way, in the origin, because it comes from here, from the Amazon, during your Amazon approaches and everything else. And I don't. And with this, we can maybe start finishing up. Jose, if you agree, if you have something to share more, of course, you're welcome to share more. And but I would like to go and just have a little more mention of places you can find easily in the internet when you just Google ayahuasca, and I see a lot of mattresses on the floor, maybe like 20 mattresses, and then next to the mattress you lay down while you're tripping, and then you have a little bucket to puke over there, and it seems like like a nice lodge and all, but it seems like you get rid of this connection with nature. It's not like we did it with you, Jose. It was so different to have a hammock and a hammock, hanging a hammock in a little hut in the middle of the Amazon with the native elders. So yeah, could you maybe you could just let us know a little bit more about what is the difference? Is it am I all right? What do you think about this? Am I right?
Yeah,
Is it different to do it raw?
yeah. I think it varies a lot according each culture, each nation kind of has its own ways of how they present ceremony. We had the luck to take with the Siecopai, which are one of the mostly revered and known um, ayahuasqueros from this part of the Amazon. But if you go a little bit south, they do have that setup, with the beds and the buckets. Now, I think these are adaptations for the Westerners. I think this is all a way of responding to a market, so a person will not feel so uncomfortable. So they lay out a bed with pillows and the bucket, so he doesn't get too dirty, and which is just accommodating for people that are not used to it so much. I think that either way is not so important. The disposition of the ceremony, but the integrity of the shaman and the people that are preparing the medicine and leading the ceremony. I think that's the most important thing. I think you can have a beautiful, beautiful journey on a hammock like we did, or you could also have a beautiful journey on a bed. It depends. It depends on how you approach it, how you prepare yourself too. It's very important, the previous preparation and also after, so you can integrate the experience and get the most of your experience of your journey. Yeah.
All right. So yes, so pretty much don't forget the origin of the plant. Don't forget that you are an outsider. Even from here, for us, we are from the Andes. We are outsiders there for sure. We are also Westerners. So, but I would recommend personally to adapt to them. You are going to their world. You're going to see a very powerful plant. So so recommendation is don't take it lightly. Do your information. And yet again, we're repeating because it's a very powerful plant. And it can do so much good for you. It can be a great benefit for you if you do it the right way. So, and there's much more to these conversations. We can even do a second part because we haven't even got to the ceremony yet and what is being used in the ceremony. We haven't even talked about the tribes, the native nationalities that use this plant. So there's so much more. And if our listeners have questions, if you want to know more about this, if you don't agree with us, or just comment below, just let us know anything that that you want to tell to us, let us know. We're here to answer your questions. Jose also will be here. And thank you, Jose. Thank you so much for joining in on this video cast. It's been awesome.
Thank you, Gabo, always for the opportunity to share. I'm more than happy to tell more, to speak more about ayahuasca and many other plants and many other aspects that are around the world of the ayahuasca or yahe or the medicine, and what are all the benefits that we can bring into modern life. I think it's very important now that we integrate the ancestral knowledge with the modern knowledge and the technology to get a beautiful formula of how to connect with the world and how to interact with all the beings in all the dimensions, so we can really achieve harmony for humanity. Man, thank you, Gabo. And I hope to
Excellent.
see you in
Thank
the
you.
jungle soon, man.
Thank you. We'll see you in the jungle for sure someday, for sure, when all this over. So thank you, everyone, yet again, and don't forget to comment and tell us what you think, or if you have any questions, if you want a second part of this ayahuasca series, let's call it. So thank you, everyone, and until next time. Ciao.
Ciao.